Alright, in the last video we got the Kirimoto all set up with the Tormach, and the benefit, I know it took a long time to do that, but the benefit is that we can very quickly now create toolpaths for various parts. So before we bring in part files, just a couple shortcuts on the mouse here. So left click and hold will allow you to rotate, and that's nice. Right click and hold will allow you to pan, and then roll in, roll out with the roller on the mouse. Okay, so just so that you know, we'll be needing to do that a little bit. So we're going to start by going to Files, Import, and then it's going to bring up everything that's in the current file. So we're going to start here with our top plate, and click New Top Plate, and then you'll see that it brings the part into Kirimoto. Now, I chose this part because there's pretty much all the operations that we're going to be using are in this one part, so it makes it pretty easy. So now, keep in mind, we set the table bed on the Tormach as 14 inches in the X direction, 7.5 in the Y direction, and then Z gives us 13.25. This particular part, if you look at it, we're getting pretty close to the edges. It still fits, but you know, if you're thinking about like clamping, we could clamp and hold the material down here and over here, but maybe we want to put two of these, you know, like one up here and one down here. We can click rotate, and then you can rotate this part, say like, I don't know, 30 degrees, and you can even play around with that a little bit more. And you know, like I said, we can kind of maximize how many we can fit on a piece of material. So just something to consider as we think about, you know, aluminum's expensive, so we want to maximize everything that we can get. All right, so anyway, we're going to just leave this right here for right now. So the first thing that we're going to do is we know we have to think about the order that we're going to cut this out. If I go and say cut the outside out first, then the part is going to be loose, and then it's going to be really hard to cut out the middle and drill all the holes. So generally speaking, we will drill out all the holes first, and then once we clear out the holes, we'll clear out the middle. So we'll cut like this hole in the middle out there, and then we will finally at the end we will cut the outside profile out. So starting with drilling, we're going to go to Profile. We already set these profiles up, and we're going to click Drilling and choose your drilling profile. And we don't even have to choose a size because it will detect what size holes we have to work with, and it will drill those holes out. So to do that, we're going to start out here by clicking the little plus, or hovering over the little plus, and we're going to drill. And then if you hover over the little drill that you just added, we can add some things in here. So I'm going to change this actually 5,000, maybe about 3,000 will be fine for the spindle. We're going to be using, in this case, our 3/16 inch drill bit. Okay, that is going to be this hole, this hole, this hole, and this hole, and then same thing over here. Okay, so it'll automatically detect those holes. Okay, so then we're going to take 3,000, the plunge rate is 5, step down is 0.1, the dwell time, so this is just like you're using a hand drill. You drill down a little bit, you pick up the bit to kind of help it clear out, you drill down further. So the dwell time is 1 second, and then that's 1,000 milliseconds, and then it'll step down 0.1 inches each time. So it'll drill a tenth of an inch, step up, drill down a tenth of an inch, step up. Okay, and marking, we don't have to add that. Okay, so that all looks good. So once we've adjusted and our settings are the same, we can go and see what that looks like. So if we go to Preview, you'll see that it detects the 3/16 holes, and it creates the toolpath to drill those out. If you want to see what that looks like, we can go to Animate and then hit play, and you'll see that that's what the machine is going to do. It's going to drill those holes. And if you look here from our profile, if you remember, we were to step down, we were to punch through the material a tenth of an inch, and you can see that it does do that with each of the drill bits there. Okay, and with each of the holes. All right, so once we're done there, we'll click this little back arrow to get out of the preview, and now we're back to the part. So that only did the 3/16 holes, so we're going to just add another drill, and this time for the second one, we're going to change that to a 1/4 inch drill. We'll leave the settings the same, and then now we can do another preview. So preview, you'll see that it does two different holes, two different tool paths. If we were to animate that, you'll see that it will drill our 3/16 holes first, and then it goes and does our 1/4 inch holes, and then so on and so forth. All right, now I am going through these tool paths, by the way, like I'm just adding them all in. We're going to have to do these one at a time and then export those out. So I might as well actually do that. So let's do that real fast. So let me just clear out the 1/4 inch one. So we only have the 3/16 drill right now, okay? And what we'll do is we will export this. So I've got one tool path, 3/16, 3,000, 5.1 step down, dwell for a second. All right, we're going to export that, and it says that it's created all this info. We can give it a new one, so new name. So the name that we want to give it needs to make sense. Okay, so for example, I might call this new top plate. All right, now this is the name of the file, and then I might give it the size of the drill. So I'll do new top plate drill, and then I'll do like 3/16, standing for 3/16. So I know that this is going to drill 3/16 holes in the top plate. All right, and that's going to be our. So then we'll go ahead and hit download. All right, so then now that file right there, new top plate drill 3/16, that can be loaded to the CNC machine, and it will drill that out. Okay, so once we have that one done, we'll click back here, and we can either probably just go ahead and clear this one out, and we'll do the next one, which is drill. This is going to be 1/4 inch drill. Everything's the same. So again, we're going to go to start, export, and then we'll just, again, all you have to do is name it now. So we'll do file name, so new top plate. I'll call it 250 for 1/4 inch drill. Make sure you put drill on it so we know what it's going to be doing, and hit download. All right, and then now we have the holes all drilled. So we'll go back. So now we're going to cut out the middle. Okay, now this one we're going to be, so we've been on this drilling profile. So since this is milling, we're going to switch profiles, and depending on which end mill you're using, I'm going to go ahead and use the 3 flute for right now, because I know I have some of those in stock. So I've on the 3 flute milling. The operation that we're going to do is called rough. Okay, and we are just going to make sure that everything is set up here. So I want to use a 1/4 inch end mill. Spindle speed can be 10,000. Feed rate is 60. That's what we had set up over here. The plunge rate is 5. Step down. This is going to be for each layer that it cuts. You'll see the pass that it takes, but basically it's going to cut down a little bit, and it's going to do the little profile, and then it's going to cut down a little bit more and do it again. So this step down is 0.07. I think we can probably go to 0.1. And then step over is 0.2. So step over needs to be less than the width of the bit. So the bit is a 1/4 inch diameter, so I left it at 0.2. Leave stock 0. I don't want to leave it. I want to cut it exact, basically is what I'm saying. Otherwise, it says clear voids, clear faces, clear top, inside only. So we want this inside only checked, and we want clear faces checked. All right, so let's see what that looks like. We're going to go to preview, and you'll see that it chooses only the inside, and it basically just goes around each profile on the inside until it's all the way at the bottom of the piece. So you can see, if you look at it, it stops at the bottom. Okay, and then if we want to look at animate that, you'll see what that looks like there. Okay, I can speed this up a little bit. So there it goes, cuts them all out. That would be our middle. So we would go ahead now and we would export this toolpath. Actually, no, on the end, when we're roughing out, we're not changing bits out anymore. So the drilling we had to do separately because we had 2 different size bits. So each of those needs to be their own toolpath. But with the roughing, we're going to use a 1/4 inch on the inside and then on the outside. And so we can actually do these 2 together. So I'll say this time, instead of rough though, rough does the inside, I'm going to do an outline for the outside. So we'll do outline. And then here, same settings. So 1/4 inch end mill, 10,000, 60, plunge rate of 5, step down is 0.1. Outside only should be checked, and omit pocket should be checked. Okay, and then we should be good there. So now let's see what that looks like. Let's do animate, and we'll hit play, and you'll see it's going to go real fast, and then it's going to cut the outside out after it does the inside. Okay, so it's important to note that it's going to do it in this order right here. So if I were to say grab this one and move it over, then it's going to cut the outside first, and then it's going to try and cut the inside. So we want to make sure that rough is first, that's our inside pockets, and then outline is second, which is going to be our outside pockets. So now we'll need to go ahead and get our export this one. So we'll click on export, and again, we're exporting both of the toolpaths, both the rough and the outline, in the correct order. And then again, we need to think about what we're going to name this so that it makes sense. So again, new top plate, part name. I'm going to put in here 250 end mill, and then it's probably smart to even put, like in my case, I used a 3 flute, so I'm going to put F3. and then or 3F or something like that, just so that I know that this thing is going to be 3 flutes, and that's what it's all set up for. So we'll go ahead and download that, and now we have all 3 files that we need to completely manufacture this part. So that pretty much takes care of most of the toolpaths that we'll ever have to do with with robotics. But otherwise, when we get into some other more advanced stuff, I can help you with that individually.